Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be doing the review video of Titanic Shipment 22. So, for that, we're going to start with issue 123 first. Okay, in issue 123, we basically put together one of these metal brackets, and then we basically put it in the ship towards the back where the stern is. And it's got that plate here that holds your cable, but like I've said before, I went the extra mile of basically tacking the cable down to where those ends right there would not come unsoldered. And I would highly recommend doing that. Let me just set all this back down here. Alright. And then after that, let's see here. Yeah, basically, we tacked it down and all that, and then you would have that much of the completed work. And then we go to 124. Alright, there we go. These pages like sticking together. Drives me crazy when I do that. Okay. We're getting there slowly. Getting there. Let's see here. There we go. Then this area was basically when we basically took the poop deck and we basically put the decking down onto the poop deck. And then you would basically have your poop deck decking down. Then you would move on to issue 125. And then this would basically tell you to put together your first aft crane, which is basically just building a crane. And then you would basically set your crane down to the poop deck, which is this crane right here. You would basically have that crane built. And then you would basically put it down to the poop deck and attach it from underneath with 2 AP screws. And then after that, you would then take this little stairway, identify the 2 holes that it goes in, and then you would basically put that little stairway right there with the door on it in place. And then after that, you would have completed that. And then you would move on to issue 126. And on issue 126, you would start to build your second aft crane, which is basically the second crane that goes on the poop deck. And after you've done that and assembled it, you would basically stick it down to the poop deck. That would be this crane right here. You would stick down your second crane and then attach it from underneath again with 2 AP screws. And then they would also have you to put 1 new piece onto your hole, which is another plating. And I'll go over here to the hole. And it's right here somewhere. It's on here so good that you can't even tell where we stuck it. I'm trying to identify it. It's in here somewhere. But it's so good on there that I can't tell where I put it. That's how well it blends in. But it's somewhere on this side around there. I don't know where. It's like so well blended in, you just can't tell where it was. But it's like somewhere like right around in there. And then after you've done that, you'd move on to issue 127. And 127 will give you a short break from the cranes, because you would basically be doing details for the poop deck. And your first thing you would basically do is you would take the bulkhead to the well deck and the poop deck, put the brackets onto the what do you call it, bulkhead, and then after you've done that, you would then attach the bulkhead to the underneath of the poop deck, and you would secure it down with 3 AP screws. And then once you've done that, you would basically have the aft well deck bulkhead attached to the poop deck. Then, after you've done that, it would then tell you to take the aft well deck and attach the aft well deck to the aft well deck bulkhead. Then you would secure it down with 4 AP screws. Then after you have done that, then you would basically have the aft well deck and the poop deck both attached to the aft well deck bulkhead. And then your next step would be to take the 2 stairs and put the 2 stairs in place. And then attach them with a little glue. And then you would have the 2 stairs in place. After that, you would then move to these 3 vents. Right here, the 2 small vents, and then the 1 big giant vent in the middle. You would move to putting those on next. And then after those were in place, let me move all this stuff. After you had those in place, we turn the page to the last page. You would then be putting in the 2 storage boxes, which are right here. These 2 big storage boxes. You would then put those on. And then after you have done that, that would be everything in issue 127 you would have done. And then moving on to the very last issue, 128, it would then basically be through of giving you a break of the cranes, and then it would basically be ready to throw another crane at you. So in this one, you would basically do the crane for the aft well deck, the first crane. So you would basically start assembling your crane, just like you always do with the cranes. After you've got that assembled, you would then attach the bottom of the crane to the top of the crane. Then you would basically put it in place on the aft well deck, which is on this side right here. And then you would flip it upside down underneath, and then you would attach it with 2 more AP screws. Then after that, then you would basically move back to the hole. You would take these 2 brackets and you would attach them with 4 AM screws, which would be right here above your engine room at this corner. So this would start to hold your engine room ceiling in place. And I know next shipment we'll be getting the bracket that'll be going across here, and we'll also be getting these 2 brackets that goes here, and then the bracket that'll go across here. We'll also be getting the engine room cover. We'll be getting the crane that goes here on the other side. We'll also be getting the 2 front cranes that goes on the front of the ship. There's a lot coming in the next shipment whenever they ship it. But if after you've done all that, you will then have completed your shipment 22. And your Titanic would be about this far. And over there is the rest of my ship just sitting over there. I'm just waiting to put everything together, but basically I'm just waiting for them to tell us to. And I think they're not going to tell us that until I counted it up and watched it from people's YouTube videos and added it up where I would be during that time. In January. January is when we will finally be putting everything together. And I can't wait for that time. But until then, we'll still keep pressing on. But you all have a blessed one. When I come back, we'll be going over the weighing video. But until then, goodbye.